We had the most amazing VIP personal tour from one of Elvis's own relatives. To find out who that was, click the link above. Welcome back to our channel, Retired and Loving It. I'm Terry.
And I'm Keith.
And today we're in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're going to tour Graceland.
I'm a huge Elvis fan, so thank you so much for joining us.
If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up. As you first step into the mansion, you step into the foyer and look toward the beautiful living room and the music room beyond. This is where Elvis met guests as they came to the mansion. We believe the tour guide said the sofa was about 15 feet long, and it's all one piece. It's not a sectional. And the peacocks, we were told Elvis loved them and they represented new birth. The portrait of Vernon Presley was the last Christmas gift that he got from Elvis. And here is that infamous Graceland staircase. How beautiful. And then we come to the bedroom that was the bedroom of Gladys and Vernon when they lived at Graceland. It was located in the back of the house. And there's a glimpse of the bathroom along with some of Gladys's clothes that were hanging. There are a lot of mirrors in this home as it was popular decor for the 70s. And here's the beautiful foyer with more stained glass and family photos. Then we come to this gorgeous dining room where we were told that Lisa Marie used to ride her tricycle around the table, and Elvis sat in the chair facing the TV so he could see the TV, and he also had a button under the table he could push if he needed anything from the kitchen. And then we come to the kitchen, which is a 70s time capsule. From the wood paneling to the gold appliances to the orange, the carpet, it's a 70s throwback. It's all been left just as it was when Elvis lived there. We were told that Elvis would sit at the bar and watch his fans down by the gate for hours, and sometimes he would go out there and greet them. And there's the red phone. That's Elvis's personal phone, and if that phone rang, you better answer it, because Elvis was on the other end. And then we made our way to the famous jungle room, with its green, shagged carpets, a Polynesian feel, and exotically carved wood. This room was once the exterior access to the basement. In the 1960s, during one of Elvis's home improvement projects, it was added to the back of the house, first as a screened-in porch and then closed in as a room a few years later. In 1974, Elvis redecorated with the current furnishings. Vernon had found these at a Memphis furniture store and told Elvis it was the ugliest furniture he had ever seen. Elvis went to look and came home with the furniture. He liked it because it reminded him of Hawaii when he enjoyed vacationing and filmmaking there. Some of Elvis's last recordings were recorded right here in the Jungle Room with Elvis standing on this platform. We were told that the stone wall was a water feature that never worked right, so now it's just lit up with lights. And the corner chair with the teddy bear was Lisa Marie's favorite place to sit with her bear. Then we make our way down the mirrored staircase to the basement where there's a man cave. The bar area is where Lisa Marie and her friends used to get ice cream. You'll notice the opening on the right. That was for the movie projector. Elvis often came downstairs to watch movies. Elvis must have loved yellow because this place was definitely yellow. There were 3 TVs for the 3 networks there were at the time. Elvis loved to come down here and watch football, and he could see all 3 networks at the same time. Notice the lightning bolt, which stands for TCP, taking care of business in a flash. The basement also had a billiards room, which had fabric-lined walls and ceiling. It took hundreds of yards of fabric to do this room, and the Tiffany lamp had a crack where Lisa Marie used to throw the billiard balls. We exited the basement into one of the carports where Elvis kept some of his cars when he lived there. You also get a good view of the back of the house and the backyard. Then we came upon Lisa Marie's swing set, which had been kept all these years. Then we got to look into Vernon Presley's office. He paid the bills and did some of the business for Elvis. He had 2 assistants there in the office with him, and it also looked like a time capsule with the wood paneling, the old telephones, typewriters, copy machines, a step back in time for sure. No loafing in the office, strictly for employees only. If you have business here, please take care of it and leave. I thought that was hilarious. Elvis was truly a rags to riches story. He was born in a tiny house in Mississippi with no running water and no electricity. He had a twin brother who was stillborn. Graceland used to be a cattle farm years ago, so they had a smokehouse, which Elvis used as his shooting range. Our tour guide said he would lay in the yard and shoot at the target. You can see the hooks on the ceiling where they used to hang the meat. There were bullets and casings dug from the woodwork of this room, and also a bullet hole in Lisa Marie's slide where they missed. And there is the upstairs balcony just off of Elvis's suite where he used to stand and shoot at targets in the yard. Then we make our way to the trophy building. We were told that Elvis was an extremely fidgety child, so to get this photo, they filled his mouth with peanuts to get him to sit still. When Elvis was living, this trophy building was used to house all of his trophies and awards. However, with the completion of the Graceland complex, now the things are stored over there. So this building was redone with a personal story of Elvis and his family and the Graceland Mansion. It's filled with childhood toys from Lisa, mementos, Elvis's keys to Graceland, and much, much more. Elvis's family tree. These were some of Elvis's mother's personal items. It was amazing to us the amount of personal items that have been kept and now displayed in this building. It really is like going through a museum. They even have the TV remote from Elvis's bedroom. And his last wallet. They even have the invoice and 2 checks from where they put in the pool at Graceland. He bought Graceland in 1957 for $102,500. Just look at those old-time cameras. They snapped his picture as he drove through the gate. This is some of Lisa Marie's furniture when she was a baby. It's so amazing the things that they've kept for all these years. This is Elvis's furniture from his upstairs office at Graceland. The living room, dining room, and foyer used to be decorated in red velvet, which looks kind of gaudy today, but I'm sure in the 70s when it was done, it was cutting edge. Elvis's favorite horse, Rising Sun. A scarf that he autographed to Lisa from Daddy. Elvis had a great love for the police and law enforcement. This is the only portrait that Elvis had commissioned. This is the pool that Elvis had put in behind Graceland. Then we make our way to the racquetball building. Elvis had this building built because he had a love of playing racquetball. The pinball machine you see, he said Michael Jackson even played that machine once when he was there. Then we look down into the lounge area where Elvis sat at that piano and played 4 songs the evening prior to his death. Elvis had gone to the dentist late that evening. Then he and some friends played racquetball. Then afterwards, he sat at the piano and played. We got to walk by the racquetball court and view his racket, which he played with that evening. Our next stop was the meditation garden, where Elvis and members of his family have been laid to rest. Millions of fans from around the world have come to Graceland to pay their respects to Elvis, the humanitarian, singing sensation, movie star, and king of rock and roll. This was a very solemn and serene place, a wonderful tribute to a wonderful family. The memorial for Jesse, Elvis's twin brother. We visited Graceland just a couple of weeks after the 45th anniversary of Elvis's death. There were memorials, flowers, all kinds of things still there because every year they hold a vigil and they call it Elvis Week. And they recognize him, and flowers and memorials are sent from all over the world. As you walk up the pathway back to the main house, it is lined with memorials that have been sent here from all over the world in honor of the 45th year of his passing. We now pause for a few moments in front of the main house and get some photos. Then we go to our final stop along the 3-hour tour. Graceland is on the list of the National Register of Historic Places. On the way to our last stop, we saw golf carts that Elvis and the family used to ride around in. Then we saw one of the garages that had been transformed into another mini museum of sorts with a lot of personal artifacts inside. Vernon Presley's wallet. Our tour guide told us a story about how Elvis took a $10 bill and tore the corner off, gave it to his dad, Vernon, to put in his wallet, and he tore another corner off and put in his wallet, and he told his dad they would never be broke again. Can't see it in this picture, but that piece of the $10 bill is still there. Old farm equipment that was left from the purchase of the old Graceland farm. And our last stop, a building that was lined with pictures and memorabilia. You could spend hours looking at everything they had on display. Even had some stuff from Colonel Tom Parker himself. This is the helmet they made Elvis wear when they got out in the yard and threw Roman candles at one another. To hear that story, click the link above. This was the highlight of our tour, where we got to put on these white gloves and hold Elvis's concert belt. What a cool experience this was. And this is the building where our tour guide, a family member, told us story after story after story because our van was late and he just kept telling stories. This is one of 3 pianos that Elvis purchased in his lifetime. One is in the Graceland home and the other in the racquetball building. If you enjoyed this video, click the link above to our Elvis playlist. Thank you so much for joining us today on our tour of Graceland. How interesting.
If you're ever in Memphis, Tennessee, you have got to stop here at Graceland. This is an absolute must-see. Check this off your bucket list. This is amazing.
We did the VIP tour and we're so glad we did. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. To see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen.